Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 173 of the Fab and Fearless Business Booster Short Show. My name is Yinka. I am a business strategist, a coach, a speaker, and an incoming author. And I support women to create wealth in and through their businesses by helping them to focus on what matters most for the business, which is cash flow and strategy, and what matters most for the business owner, which is mindset and habit. It is both my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this 173rd episode of the show, where each week at 1:30 p.m. UK time on a Wednesday, I come to you with a short, sharp shot to boost both you and your business with one powerful truth and one actionable tip. So if you can see and hear me live over on my LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube socials, feel free to jump into the chat, come and say hello, and let us get this party started. Hello, fabulous Sharon Hurley Hall. It is so good to see you. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can see me live over on YouTube. It is great to have you here, and I'm so excited to know that I'm not just talking to myself. I am talking to a valued and trusted friend. So we know that we're live over on YouTube. We're excited to know that. I'm just going to double check then that I am live over on Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be the most glitchy of all, if I'm completely and utterly honest. Hello, fabulous Kath. So good to see you, awesome lady. Thank you for letting me know that we are live over on LinkedIn too. And so I'll just double check YouTube. In the meantime, ladies and gents, feel free, jump into the chat. Hello, Jacob. So great to have you here. Excited to jump in a moment to speak to this really powerful topic today, which is a reminder for the low times. We are talking reminders and we're talking low times. But in the meantime, jump into the chat. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing today? 1 is, Yinka, things could not be any worse. 10 is, Yinka, things could not be any better. Let me know, jump into the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing today? And I will check if the Facebook team is actually letting me stream over on Facebook. I can see myself. Yes, I can see myself on Facebook, which means we are good to go. How are we doing, ladies and gents? Honestly, the weather in London today is about 3. It's very, very miserable today. But I'm coming in really full of gratitude today. And I'll tell you a bit more about that in a second. So yeah, I'm coming in on a strong 8, same as Kath. Sharon is a 5 today. Thank you so much, ladies, for letting me know. I appreciate you both for sharing that. And I'm really looking forward. And it is my intention to make sure that we up level that score before the end of our session today. Just before we get started, please, wherever you are seeing and hearing me at the moment, hit the reshare button and feel free to tag a friend, a woman in business that you know is incredible at what she does, is committed to making incredible change, and you know that times have been tough. And so, yeah, maybe she's not been quite as chipper as she normally is. Please hit either the reshare button, but also tag a friend, a female in business that you know would really value a reminder for the low times. Yeah, Jacob, thank you so much for sharing. I'm also a solid 8 today. I'm coming in with gratitude for a couple of different reasons. Number one, we send all the love, all the prayers, all the good vibes, wishes, everything to our Jamaican siblings who are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. It has been really shocking to see and hear some of the devastation that they are going through at this time. And I was listening to my good friend and client, Daniela Gina's talking about our need to really stand up and support now. It's really easy for us to say how much we love, Jamaican food, Jamaican culture, like to go there as a holiday destination. But what they're going through right now as an island is really challenging. So I really want to encourage you, if you have had any positive anythings from Jamaica, please be minded to extend that support out to our Jamaican siblings and really do all that we can to support them. And so it is with that in mind that as much as the weather is kind of miserable here in London, there's no complaints on it. We stay grateful, we stay grounded, and we keep it moving. And so I come here today to talk about and really provide a powerful reminder for the low times. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this particular topic today, ladies and gents, is for a couple of reasons. Number one is because social media is the land of the highlight. And it's so interesting that we spend so much time watching so much content that finesses and glamorizes the experience of our lives, our entrepreneurial lives, our home lives. There are entire industries of people showing us their highlights. And at the other end, we also have, trauma dumping and people coming on and spilling their guts. And yeah, honestly, oversharing as it relates to the tough times, which incidentally is an alternate form of sharing a highlight too. It's just a completely different way of expressing it, but it's the same principle. Social media is this place where we love to share when things are, at their extremes, and often when things are going great. And we love that. We love to share that. I, for one, definitely, I love to see when things are going brilliantly for people. I love it when people share their wins. I love it when things are coming together for people. That is a real highlight for me and something I really, really enjoy. Let me know in the chat if you enjoy seeing people's highlights and you enjoy it when you are seeing people win. And yeah, be honest, if you are not someone who enjoys seeing people win, that is okay too. That is a you conversation and probably one that needs to be had. But I'd love to know in the chat if this is something that you often see. We often see the highlights, and therefore it can be very what's the word, activating, when we are seeing so many highlights and we are going through our real lights, and we are going through low times, tough times, difficult times. And so I wanted to share with you today a few reminders that really help me when I'm going through tough times and low points. And yeah, I'd love to hear any that you share for yourself as well, or things that you remind yourself of in those low times. So the first thing, and please feel free, jump into the chat, share this too. The first thing I remind myself of when I am going through a low time is that it is a season. Someone jump in the chat, type that in for me. It is a season. It is so important for us to remember that low times are a season. It is a period of time. And when I'm saying this, the reason why I want this to be really clear in our minds is that we need to be clear that it is a season of time, not a state of being. So a low time is a season of time, not a state of being. Someone jump into the chat with me with that particular point, please, because I think it's really important to remember this. When we are going through low times, when things feel overwhelming and they're all getting on top of us, it's really easy for us to tell ourselves stories about that particular point in time in general and about ourselves particularly. Hi, Ngozi. Thank you so much for joining me over on LinkedIn. So lovely to see you here. Yes, it is a season. Low times are a season. It is a period of time. And this is so important for us to remember. We can go into, hey, Nat Bullen. I am like so excited that you're here. Shout out to the fabulous Nat Bullen watching me over on Facebook at this time. Low times are a season. It is a time. It is a period of time. It is not a state of being. So things can be tough. It can be difficult. The world can be in a time of challenge and trauma. That doesn't mean that there is a problem with you. And that is the first reminder I want to give you if you are going through tough times. If you are going through tough times, it is a season. And it is so important that we remember that it is a season. Hey, Obi, thank you so much for joining me today, because you just typed out over on LinkedIn what I was literally about to say. Seasons change. Seasons change. There is an adage, I wrote it down and I brought it with me today to share with you because this is how much seasons change. There's an adage that says, and again, it's stated in relation to men. It is men equals people back in the day. I cannot change it. Life is what it is. But it says this: hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. And weak men make hard times. I'm going to say it again, nice and slow, just so we understand the nature and the seasonality of these low times. So, hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. And weak men make hard times. And then we go back to the beginning of those hard times making strong men. Now, the reason I wanted to share this particular adage with you today, we can get into the ins and outs and the wheres and the wherefores. But the reason why that particular adage is always so powerful to me is because it reminds me of the value and the opportunity of a low time. And this brings me on to my second point as it relates to low times and the thing that I remember of myself and the time the most when I'm in these difficult times. Yes, number one, it is a season, but number two, it is happening for me, not to me. It is happening for me, not to me. Let me drop a little bit more of this for you, because it can be so easy when times are tough, when things are low, when if nothing is going the way you want it to go, to tell yourself to really, because it hurts. And yes, let me be 100%, let me keep it 100% legit with you. These low times, they hurt. These tough times are tough. That's why they're called tough times. I'm not here to finesse you with the Instagram version of a tough time. The reason I have to tell myself these things is because I'm crying. It's because I feel bad. It's because I feel low. It's because I am as human as the next person. And it's so easy for us to tell ourselves stories that ultimately prolong the tough times and do not allow us to make use of them in the way that we can. Because those hard times make strong men. Why? Because those tough times, honestly, we know this from anyone who goes to the gym. Shout out to you. I am not one that goes with you, but I do my own other exercises, just not gym based. We know that resistance builds strength. We know that you cannot learn resilience in theory. You only get the increased muscles, the increased lung capacity, the extended stamina. These are only things you get in practice. So, for example, how do you learn patience? You can't read about patience in a book and become patient. You only get patience when you don't get what you want when you want it. God, trust me. If anyone else has another way to learn patience that doesn't hurt and annoy and frustrate, then please jump into the chat, like put us onto that. Because believe me, I've tried. I've tried to learn in theory. I've tried to, do it in a way that it doesn't hurt. And the only way I've ever learned to be patient is to not get what I want when I want it. If anyone knows any other way, put us on, put it in the chat. I will share it out verbally across the airways, 3 social media platforms simultaneously. Please tell us now. Because I haven't learned that way. The only way I've ever learned patience is to need to be bloody patient. And I hate it. I hate it. Patience is not my most prevalent virtue. Anyone who spent any time with me will know that I want all the things that I want yesterday. And yet patience is one of my most powerful skills. Hear what I said there? Skill. It's not one of my virtues, but it's sure as hell one of my skills. And the only way I got it is every single time I wanted what I want and it didn't come on the time I wanted it. I've never learned patience any other way. And so the second thing I want you to be really clear about is that these low times, tough times, hard times, they are happening for us, not to us. Those hard times, they make those strong men, women, They make people strong. They give us the training and the knowledge and the education and the character and the fortitude that it takes to make those good times. So that's the second reminder I really want you to hear. Jump in the chat, let me know that this is resonating with you. Yeah, Jacob, thank you for what you shared here. Happening for me, not to me, resonates. There's always a little something to take home. Yes. And that's it. This is the other thing that I really want you to remember or be reminded of when times are low. When times are low, you do not owe anybody neat. You do not owe anybody finessed. You don't owe anybody pretty and well presented. That you don't owe anybody anything. And this is something that really will resonate for those of you in your life who tend to be so many things to so many other people. The reliable one, the strong one, the go-to, the person who does for everybody else. If you are one of those people in your spaces, then what you often find yourself doing is in those low times, you're still trying to be all things to all people. Honestly, that's one of the ways that those low times are for you, because you do not owe anybody. You don't owe anybody neatness and finesse and, to continue to spread yourself possibly a little too thin. In those hard times, it's an opportunity for you to call back your resources to you, to strengthen your core, to shore up your foundations. And this is where this powerful opportunity, one of the most powerful opportunities of low times, is that coming back to that regrouping experience. Those low times are happening for you, not to you. Hey, Dami, lovely to see you. They're happening for you, ladies and gents. They are happening for your good, for your benefit. And if you're hearing the sound of my words and thinking, yeah, Yinka, but they hurt, I just want you to know that, yeah, that's true. Not everything that is good for us feels good in the moment. Yes, we love what we love, but sometimes we also have to take the medicine. And so we definitely don't want to get into that infantilized view of the world where what is good feels good. I'm not laughing. I'm trying to clear my throat because as well as laughing, because that was me. And I talk about this infantilized view a little bit, quite a bit, because back in the day, and it wasn't even that long ago, I'm a big old 40-something-year-old somebody now. But yeah, I was strong in my 30s before I had to separate the idea of feels good and is good. They don't live in the same neighborhood. And so, yeah, these low times, whew, I'm not saying they're not tough. I'm not saying they feel good. And that doesn't stop it from being something incredibly powerful and incredibly important for you. For you. As my good friend Loratu has just said, that is so true. Not everything that's good for us feels good in the moment. Many of the things that are good for us don't feel good in the moment. Shout out to the exercisers. Shout out to the people that eat kale. Like, yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the world that's good for you that doesn't feel good in the moment. Yeah, shout out to the people who eat kale and actually like it. Shout out to you. You and I are made of different stuff. And so the other piece of the puzzle I want to share with you before I share the powerful truth and the actionable tip is I really want to remind you of the fact that the low times bring the good times for a number of different reasons. And we have so many examples of this in nature and in story. But the one that I'm always reminded of is the concept of the bow and the arrow. And so for those of you who are any good at archery, I apologize now because I am not, but I'm only going to describe it from a layperson's perspective. And what I want you to kind of visualize or envisage is someone holding a bow and pulling it back, pulling the arrow back in the bow in order to release that arrow and to hit the target. And the thing that I'm reminded of whenever I am in low times, especially when I am in low times, so I feel like I am not moving forward or potentially even feel like I'm being held back, is that the further back you pull that arrow, the further forward the propulsion comes when it is released. And I've seen the truth of this particular metaphor so many times in my life. I am someone who, I am, many people are watching me now and they're like, oh my gosh, you are having this glow up. Trust me, I'm like, you look like it's an overnight success. And what I always want to share with them is the story of my business, the business that I'm running today, that I registered and I filed what we call in the UK dormant accounts for 5 years with our tax authority. So every year I registered the business name because I wanted the business name. And then I was asked, oh my gosh, are you using this company? And every single year for 5 whole years, I was like, I'm not doing anything with it, but I still want to keep it for 5 years. And every year, that particular activity, you have to file with the government every year to say that you want to keep the name, that you're still doing this thing. Every year, I felt like that arrow being pulled further and further back. Those of you who are familiar with my story will know that I have an investment banking background. Do you know how much money you can earn in investment banking in 5 years? Do you know how much you could earn in entrepreneurship in 5 years? In those 5 years, I was having a baby, I was helping my mum in her business. My mum is a cancer survivor. So again, I was doing the work in that. And I was looking around and I was seeing people make progress in their lives. And every year I was feeling accused. I was feeling shame. I was feeling hurt. I was feeling heartbroken. I was feeling like my dream was being deferred. And even now, it makes me feel emotional to think about it. So I'm going to keep talking so I don't like burst into tears. But suffice to say that it was a very difficult time in my life. That period felt very, very low. And the thing was that I felt low, but I wasn't low. It was a season of time. I was being prepared. I was being um, supported into a different way of thinking and being. My character was being built. And then when the time came for me to be that arrow that was released, oh my gosh, you are watching some of the releasing of that arrow from those 5 years of delay and what felt like denial and what felt like deferment. The further back you pull that arrow, the further forward that propulsion on release. And so I want you to know, in addition to the fact that these low times are a season, not a state, in addition to the fact that those times are happening for you and not to you, the thing I need you to understand even more powerfully is that these are the times, these are the opportunities. This is where those good times are actually built. These are where good times are actually built. How do we know this? We know this because I'm someone who lives in the UK, but I am someone who is from Nigeria. And one of the things that we spend all of our time talking about in the UK is the weather. And one of the things that always makes me smile when I speak to my, family, cousins, whatever in Nigeria, is how much the weather is not a thing. They live in a tropical climate. There's basically two types of seasons: hot and wet, hot and dry. Whereas for us, we've got all sorts. We've got the snow, we've got the sun. And the reason I share this is because we talk about them in relation to one another. The concept of winter for my cousins in Nigeria is very different. There is no winter. There's wet season, dry season. But for us in the UK, we talk about the kind of summer we have in relation to the kind of winter we have. Every time we are having seasons of good, seasons of growth, seasons of power, it is because we have had those seasons of challenge, those seasons of waiting, those seasons of difficulty. Those contrasts have value. Those contrasts actually are important. It is those low times that make those good times. Hey, Chloe, lovely to see you. Those, those good times are made in low times. Now, this is not a call to masochism to tell you that you need to always go and find tough times. Not at all. To be honest, even if you wanted to chase them and make your life harder, you just don't need to. Tough times are a nature of the life that happens. But the one powerful truth I want to remind you is the reminder, and again, shout out to Obi, who shared this early on, and is the powerful truth I want to remind you of, is this too shall pass. This low time is a season. It is not a state. You are not going to be there forever. But make no mistake, there is work to be done in a low season. There is work to be done in a low time. And that work always begins with how you see the season and how you see yourself. There is no time, there's no value in feelings of guilt or shame. And that is often where we go. That's how we've been socialized. That's what we've been trained to do. Oh, things ain't going well, your fault. I just want you to know that that's false. And let me tell you why. Because even if you did things to cause that low time, fault has no value in the equation. Fault is how we continue to abscond responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is not your fault. Yes, I'm fully aware that people may hear the two and think you're saying the same. DM me if you want to extend that conversation. I'm really happy to have it. But what I want you to know is this too shall pass. And that's not a passive state of being. That's active. You have work to do to help it pass as quickly as you can. And more often than not, as I said before, that starts with your mindset. That starts with what you remember of yourself. That starts with you not blaming, not shaming, not avoiding, not hiding. Not constantly trying to be all things to all people, but gathering your resources and being the strength that you need in that moment. You allowing yourself to be supported, you enabling yourself to be visible for those who can help you, especially if you're someone who helps everybody. And so these low times, honestly, I was going to say they were a blessed, they can be and are often a blessing in disguise, but I would actually say that they're a blessing no disguise. They're part of your journey. As we like to say in my spaces, they add spice to your autobiography. Like, who wants to read that version of the story where once upon a time someone had an idea and they made $1 billion and lived happily ever after, no challenges? Who's going to watch that movie? Who's going to read that book? Like, literally no one. So yeah, maybe you don't want quite a spicy autobiography. I hear that. I get that. And all I want you to understand is that whatever is going on, whatever the spice that is involved in your autobiography, I want you to know that it is all for you, not to you, and is to be a blessing to you, just as you will be a blessing to others. And so my one actionable tip for you today, just as we go out the door, is to ask yourself, if you are in a low time right now, how are you making sure that you make it an opportunity for you? How can you use it? How can you support yourself? How can you reach out for the help that you need to create an opportunity and an experience that is better than the one you're having right now? And if you're not in a low time, if you're in a good time, I really celebrate that for you. And I want you to know that you are in a great place, but it is also a season. Don't forget those hard men making good times and those good times making weak men and those weak men making hard times. It's a season. It doesn't make you good or bad. It's just a season. So, how can you, if you're in a good time, make sure that you are prepared for the next hard time to come? So, ladies and gents, that is everything I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. So good to see so many new faces to the Booster Shot show, but people that I know and love join me live today. Thank you so much for coming in the comments, letting me know that you're here. Please share your biggest takeaway in the chat. I would love to hear what resonated most for you in what I have shared today. And if anything that I have shared is something you want to continue to have a conversation about, as I said at the start, my work focuses on helping women around the areas of cash flow and strategy for their business and mindset and habits for themselves. So if you want to continue the conversation, slide into my DMs with the word, what word shall we do today? Good times. Drop the word good times in the comments or DMs. I'll know that you came from this video. And yeah, we can continue that conversation. We can explore what my help could look like in helping you to get through these low times into those good times. But in the meantime, ladies and gents, take care. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you in the spaces. Take care. Have a good one. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.